Are you a yes man or a negative Nelly? Greetings, warriors, and welcome to or welcome back to the War Room with Jael. And this is your host, Jael. And today, let's tackle the ever popular topic of when to say yes and when to say no. Some will argue that you should say yes to every good opportunity that comes your way, no stone unturned. Others will say that no is a complete sentence. Say it loud and say it often to avoid overwhelm. But the reality is, when to say yes and when to say no is not an all or none proposition. In this installment, we will cover things to consider when making impactful business and life decisions. Stay tuned. Negative Nelly, be strategic in your yeses. In 2015, Shonda Rhimes, famed producer and writer of TV hits such as Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder, penned her first memoir entitled A Year of Yes: How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun, and Be Your Own Person. And in this tome, she goes on to chronicle her commitment to a year of saying yes to things that take her out of her comfort zone when challenged to confront her fears after a conversation with a family member. Comfort zones are called such for a reason. They are comfortable, predetermined areas. There are no surprises and you know exactly what to expect. They are routine and secure. You don't have to think about it. You can be on autopilot. But comfort zones are also constricting and suffocating if you stay in them too long. Business and life are about growth, change, and new experiences. You can either go down the path willingly or kicking and screaming. When we opt to have new experiences, it exposes us to new ways of thinking and freedom. A strategic yes allows us to be calculated and informed in our decision making to direct our own paths, but yet not erect borders to keep our paths narrow. A strategic yes may open the door to the unknown. But some opportunities, you just have to trust and believe they will open you up to a whole new world. Yes, man, be strategic in your no's. Now, we all have things that we would love to say no to, like paying bills and taxes, but that's just the cost of life. Well, I guess you probably actually could say no to bills and taxes, but you just might find yourself with your lights cut off or in jail. That's all. Of course, barring a move to a country with no extradition, of course. But that being said, aside from those examples, it's amazing how much choice we have in life. There are many more electives than required courses than we think. And when someone requests something of us, sometimes we think if we say no, that they will be more disappointed than they really are, when it's really just the pressure we put on ourselves to please. Have you ever said yes to something and almost immediately regretted it because you know you did not have the time nor inclination to do it or do it well? If you cannot honor a commitment cheerfully, then just don't do it. For example, when I started my first business, I, like many new entrepreneurs, accepted clients that weren't ultimately a good fit, but they were good enough. Now, don't get me wrong, I do not regret taking on these clients because it was a great learning experience and I was still able to give them a good deal of value. However, as the business evolved, I realized that accepting clients outside of my core base did not do them or myself justice. So now it is a two-way interview process. I want my clients to feel that I will give them good value. At the same time, I am more refined in what type of client I accept so that I can give them my best work and continue to be happy in doing what I do instead of trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And the great thing is I have a very large referral network. So if I encounter someone who may not be a good fit for me, I can always refer them to someone else who is. So it really ends up being a win-win-win. Even in my personal life, I am a professional boundary setter. I will say no to things simply because I have no interest in doing them, or I just don't believe that it will serve me. And especially for large endeavors, I know full well that I do not have a lower gear than 150%. I don't know how to do it. When I'm committed to something, I am all in. The gear is broken. 150% is what you're gonna get. But I am also fully aware that I don't have 450% to give to 3 independent endeavors. So it's going to be a strategic no, or manage expectations up front with the requester as to how much time and effort I can easily and willingly give. And this also allows the requester to find somebody else who can and will willingly give the time and effort the request requires. For some of us, no is a difficult word to utter without compromise or guilt. But a strategic no with purpose and intention is not damaging because it honors and respects your sanity as well as the sanity of everybody around you. No is a full sentence. Identifying your yes and no strategy. We are all fortunate enough to have great opportunities that come our way, and that is an awesome thing. Whether you employ a strategic yes or a strategic no, always keep in mind what your personal and professional vision is to ensure that a yes or no is what you really want. All good opportunities are not necessarily the best for you. At the same time, don't get so caught up in comfort, aka fear, that you say no to something just because it's something that you've never done before and takes you out of your comfort zone. Be clear on how a yes or no serves you as well as the opportunity before you. Being passive aggressive in a yes or no wreaks much more havoc to your personal brand than a definitive yes or no ever could. Because I think we've all been in situations where someone will say yes when they really meant no. They do a half-assed job, drop the ball that falls right on your head, and then you are the one left to clean up the mess. Utilizing an exercise as simple as listing out pros and cons can go a long way in assisting you with effective decision making. Identifying your yes and no strategy is art and science combined. And that's the beauty of it, because there's no one way to honor your vision and your commitments alike. Both yes and no are freedom words. Use them to help you fly. Well, warriors, we have come to the end of another video, and I hope that you find freedom in your strategic yeses and strategic nos. So, here is the challenge for this week. How do you evaluate when and how to say yes or no to requests made of you? Secondly, how do you course correct when you have said yes or no to something you should not have? And lastly, how do you feel being strategic in your yeses and nos honors you? Comment below with your thoughts. As always, thank you for watching. And until next time, my brave, bold, and bodacious warriors, be fearless, be faithful, be visionary, be victorious. Hey warriors, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. Also, follow me on Twitter at War Room Coaching for even more business and life motivation. Have a visionary day.